All right. Yeah. Whoa. We got a lot of people in here already. What's up, boys and girls? Yeah. What is going down? Well, welcome back to another Moto Monday live all the way from Kansas City. I'm your host, Ronnie Kung Fu. No, I'm just kidding. Should I start running it like that? Do a straight radio show style, huh? Well, what's going down? On a serious note, welcome back, boys and girls. Let's see who's up in here. We got Adam, Tommy Shea. What's going? MX Tips, Woodcrafts, Brian. What is going down? We got the local Misfits, Monroe, Nico. What up, what up, what up, Jacob? What up, what up, what up? David, what is going down? All right. Hey. Thank you guys for being here week after week. Appreciate you guys much. Love our little Moto Monday community. If you're new here and you like Moto and you love Monday. Oh, look at this. Mom just jumped in. Michelle Wensley. That's my mom. What's up, Mom? Yeah, so if you like Moto and you love Monday nights, well, that would make you a Moto Monday candidate. So be sure to subscribe and smash that like button. I'll give you guys a little, what's up, Jeremy? What up, all the way from Oklahoma. Good. I'm excited. Quick little rundown what's going down tonight. We got a few announcements. We're going to do a little race recap from Unadilla. And then I was thinking on motivation and discipline this past week when I was at the gym training. So I'm just going to touch on that for a second, talk about that. Get a little feedback. Here's Big Feist. Big Feist jumping in the mix. Righto. And then we'll jump in. We'll open it up for some Q&A, and we'll get after it. But on the announcement side, real quick, let's see. Got some things over here. Just a quick reminder to get signed up. We got 4 signed giveaway plates. So go to Ronnie Faisst, at Ronnie Faisst on Instagram, and click the link. It'll take you to the sign up page and get signed up. But you basically have to follow me, So M7 is a graphic company that I work with. It does my graphics. So got to go follow us both. And I don't know all the details, but click the link. It'll take you to the sign up page. Get signed up if you haven't. And we're going to give 4 of these away at the end of the month. So we have just about probably 2 weeks left. So jump on that if you have not. What else? Oh, also FCA camp is coming up. I'm going to be in New York. FCA motocross camp. Go to FCA. I think it's just FCA. I should have looked that up, huh? I think it's just FCA. Oh, man, I don't even know the website. Anyway, look up, Google FCA motocross New York. It'll pop up, but I'm going to be there. The class goes from the 25th to the 29th of this month. I'm going to be there just 2 days. So I fly in on the 25th. I'll be teaching the 26th, 27th, and I believe I fly out on – oh, man, I got my dates messed up here. I'm all jacked up. I think I fly out on the 29th. I must get there the 25th – or 26th, sorry. Get there the 26th. I'm going to open my phone up, man. I'm all messed up. Obviously, when I wrote my notes, I didn't know what I was doing here. I fly in on the 25th. I'll be teaching the 26th and the 27th, and then I'm flying out on the 28th. And then I'll be at Big Feist's out the 29th through the 31st. So if anybody's in that area, be sure to check those guys out, FCA Motocross Camps. Fellowship Christian Athletes, they're an amazing group of people. I love doing camps with those guys. So looking forward to that. I also will be sharing my testimony the first night of camp. So make sure if you're coming, get there for the first day so you can hear my story, and then I'll be coaching as well. Other than that, the next RFMX class for September is going to be September 25th, and it's the only date I have. So open the first 3 weeks. It's the last weekend of the month. The first 3 weeks of September, I got my anniversary, and then I'm going to be on a big family trip. Going to be going to see, I've got a wedding, got to see my sister and go see my mom in Florida. So the only weekend I have available is September 25th. So if anybody's in the area, and you want to come to the September class, there's only 2 more RFMX classes this year. It's going to be the September 25th, and then I'm going to shoot for October 16th as well. That date will be up in the air, but that's the date I have in mind. But the September 25th is for sure. I'm going to try to get that one locked in, but it's the only weekend I have available in September, so I'm shooting for it. So I'll keep you guys posted on where we're going to do it. And I was kind of thinking about, I was almost thinking about Hillsdale, because I only did 1 class there, and I really like that place. It's a private place, but it's a fun track. So I could be there, could be at Grain Valley, but I don't know. I was kind of feeling Hillsdale. It's a pretty sweet spot. And the last little quick announcement, check this out, boys. And I didn't tell nobody. I wanted to save it for you guys. I'm going to do a little post tomorrow, but I'm like, you know what? I'm wait and let my Moto Monday people know. Check it. I got certified. I passed all my tests. I passed all my tests and quizzes and all that stuff. So got certified. Look at this. Jeff Emming, co-founder of the USMCA. So this is the United States Motocross Coaching Association, and I am now certified. And like I said, I talked about it a little bit the past couple weeks. This, I would think every coach, you can't make it mandatory, but that coaches would be certified, but I think it is very smart and very beneficial for coaches to have all the certifications that come with this. So if you want to look for a certified coach, all you have to do is you can go to the usmca.org and then go to the scroll down tab at the top and hit find a coach, and it'll redirect you over to another website, which is, you can go to the other one direct if you want. It's just motorcyclecoaching.org, and then you just hit find a coach, and then you put in your zip code, and once you put in your zip code, it pulls up all the certified coaches around you, not just in your state. It actually gives you like everyone that's pretty close, so you can kind of pick who you want. So if you're looking for coaching, I think this is an awesome place to find a good coach, and there's a ton of great coaches on there already. I put in like obviously the website I live at now. Let's see who's around here. I put in the website back in New Jersey where I grew up, see who's around there. I put in the the zip code of where I lived in California, and pulled up all the coaches, and there's a lot of good guys in there. So great place to find a coach if you haven't been able to find somebody to help get some coaching from. And it's not just motocross. It's they have motocross. I talk about this every time. Motocross, enduro, road racing, and even like the basics, first time riders. There's coaches that do that as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested in getting some coaching. But I'm psyched. Like I said, I think it's an amazing program, and I'm very glad that I jumped into that. Let's see. Other than that, let's talk about the races here for a second. Race recap. Let's see. I know I got some results for you guys, and I had the races on while I was cooking dinner tonight because they've been really good. And look who is at the top here. My man, back-to-back wins. Ken Roxon. Was he on fire or what? He said he likes and I think he won last year too, right? He's like, yo, I like Unadilla. It's basically like a European track. And I would agree with him with that. This cool thing is Unadilla, I don't know if they still do, because I'm been long gone out of that area. But when I was growing up, they used to have local races there. I raced there a ton. So pretty cool place. And that place is gnarly. I'll give you that. It's super ruddy, super gnarly. And it's long. It's big, but super cool. And that track that I get to go to in New York is very similar. So I was watching this weekend going like, oh, man, I can't wait to go to New York, because they're basically in the same area. So psyched on that, psyched on Roxon, getting going 1-1. I think this is going to boost the confidence, but look who is right behind them. And we'll call this championship management. Roxon smoked them, but at the end of the day, he still got second overall. So I think Roxon only gained 6 points. But hey, 6 points, right? And they got Muscan getting on the podium, first time in a long time. Tomac kind of hanging in there. Hey, Sexton, man, the 11-2. Did you guys watch the races? How many of you guys seen the races? Dude, the crash in the start, the first moto, he came in hot and he like rotated out of the rut and it high-sided, swapped like 3 times and then chucked him down. Lucky he didn't get hurt. But I can't believe he managed to get up and get an 11th. He almost got top 10 because he sat there for a while and like it looked like he was so far behind. So I think 11 is pretty good for for that first turn crash. But then he comes out the very next moto, second moto, he whole shots. So I was like, dude, talk about mental focus and not letting something like that get in your head. Have a gnarly crash the first moto on the start and then come back the second moto on whole shot. And then solid second. So, So super cool. And I didn't really get to see these guys too much in the race. Sexton was getting a lot of time, but a lot of focus on Ken. So good to see. I'm happy to see that. I really hope we'll look at the points here in a little bit. We'll look at 250 cast. We'll look at the points and see if there's a chance and see what you guys think. And look at this, dude. Shout out to Lawrence with the 2-1. And I had the second moto on while I was cooking dinner tonight. And dude, this dude was on fire in the second moto. I don't know. He's smoked by everybody. Cooper was leading for a while, but then he kind of slowly faded back. Martin was ahead of him. He passed everybody and just left him. He was on the gas. So, and to be honest with you, hey, Team Honda just crushed it this weekend, overalls in both classes. But Lawrence, be honest with you, this is who I'm going with. This is who I want to win. I hope he does win. Remember in the beginning of the year, I'm like, I don't know who my 250 pick is. Well, I think I've found my dude. And I'm going with him because I like the way he rides. He's a little bit taller rider, but I just like his form. I like his flow. And he's sick. Him and Sexton look like twins when they ride. And the brother too. Both of the Lawrence brothers, Hunter Lawrence has a similar style. These two almost ride exact. But if you watch Jet ride and watch Sexton ride, you're like, oh my God, they look like the same dudes. Especially they got the same. They got the same gear too now, right? But anyway, they look like twins. I'm like, and then Roxon, he's always been my guy for style. But anyway, Cooper right there. I like Cooper though. Don't get me wrong. He's another dude I like to watch. And then Martin was strong. All these dudes. It was a good race. But here we go. Wait, I want to give a shout out to Levi Kitchen. This was his first. This dude was at Loretta Lynn's last week, racing his last amateur race, and he won both championships. And I told you, watch out for this dude. This dude's going to be good. And he came out with a 12.7. He was in fifth for a second. I don't know how he dropped back to seventh. Like I said, I was cooking dinner. I was up and down trying to watch the race. But he was in fifth, and I was like, I knew he did good overall. So I'm like, oh, he must have finished fifth. And then when I pulled this up to put this up for tonight, I'm like, wait, how the heck did he get seventh? So I don't know. Maybe he got tired because you got to give it to him. Like, he's coming straight out of the amateur ranks, and it's another 10 minutes. So, and Unadil is gnarly. So maybe he just got a little arm pump, faded back 2 spots. But dude, 8th overall for his first pro national. So high five, dude. That's pretty impressive. And I think watch out for that dude in the coming days and months and years. Because I think they said he was 18 years old. All right. Now I got too many things up here. Here I go. I start getting out of control. Pushing on the wrong ones. All right, let's look at 450. And my voice is jacked up. Can you hear that? Let me get some water. I did some coaching on Saturday, and I yell a lot, obviously. I talk over the dirt bike. So always on Sundays, Mondays, sometimes after I do coaching, my voice is all jacked up. So I'm not sick. I went over to Chad Kage's house yesterday. He's like, you sick, dude? I'm like, no. He was like, don't be coming over here. You're sick, man. I'm like, nah, dude. I'm yelling. All right, so 450 points. Let's check these out. Ferrandez, do the math here. So he's 345 and 306. So what is that? 30. Do the math. Who's the math musician? Mom? Mom's smart. 39? Is that 39? Anyway, it's pretty close. Tomac. Here's the deal. It looks like a little bit of gap, little bit of gap, little bit of gap, little bit of gap. Like there's all these little gaps. Then it gets kind of tight down in here. It's like, Plessinger, what a bummer. That's right. He crashed in the first. Everyone saw that one. Obviously, it was all over social media. But man, how did that even happen? He looked like he was ready to he landed so hard. The front end rebounded so bad it went into like a mini flip, and his bike did a half flip, and he landed right on his butt. Like he didn't. I don't know if he broke his tailbone. I don't think he did, but he could have. Definitely could. But this is tight through here. Look at this. It's 6th through 9th is super tight. So definitely going to be some rotating going on there. And these guys got a little bit of gap, but because Plessinger was in 3rd at one point, now he's back to 6th. That's what stings, man. One bad moto, and it changes the game. So I think in order for Ken to win this championship, which anything's possible, this is motocross, anything can happen. Like, if this dude's bike breaks and he DNFs a moto or something else happen, it's possible. So I'm not counting it out. It's difficult at this point, but I don't think it's impossible. So we'll keep on rooting for him. Why do I always jacked it up? Oh, here we go again, dude. I need to label these things over here on the side because I always mess them up, and then I can't remember which ones I clicked on. Oh, dude, I'm going backwards. All right, let me just keep going here. What the heck, dude? Oh, man. All right. I'm going to start labeling those dudes because they're so little. I can barely even see them. I got them in this little bar. I can barely see, guys. Let's be honest. The screen's far from me. All right, so here's 250 class. We got, oh, shoot. What the heck, dude? Again, squirrely tonight. We got Cooper here. 324, and see, this is tight. Now, this is tight. 324 and 320. So this is the thing, is nowhere. This ain't over. This is a straight up battle for the championship right here. And like I said, I'm going for Jet Lawrence. I hope he wins it. And like I said, I'm a Cooper fan though, but I go with him over. And it's funny because I like Cooper style too. I like both these guys, but Lawrence, I just kind of like that. He's a little bit more like arms. Like here's Cooper, like arms in, kind of more relaxed. They both ride relaxed, so I don't want to act like Lawrence is stiff or nothing like that. But Cooper rides like arms like this, kind of the whole track. Lawrence is like this, but then he relaxes in the corner and kind of drops him in, but then he always rotates back like this, and his hips are always. He's tall, so he's taller than Cooper. That's why I think I probably like him, because when he rotates his hips back, he just looks like real. It just looks real stylish, dude. Arms are up, heads forward, hips are back. I don't know. I enjoy watching guys like that. So that's how I pick my guys. I pick my guys by how they ride. But I do like Cooper. Just he's bad, dude. So I'm a Cooper fan too. And then we got his brother hanging in there, Martin. Martin's bad, dude. But I think he's so little, like he's kind of just tight on the bike. So I like the taller dudes a little bit, but I always got to show love because this dude's a champion right here and he's got skills. So no disrespect to any of these dudes, even if I might like somebody's style more than somebody else's. But anyway, Faulkner having a little bit of a rough year here, but it's all good. Hey, it happens. All right, we'll keep an eye on. So this weekend, what do we got coming up this weekend? Budds Creek. So Budds Creek is coming up this weekend. That'll be another good one to watch. Actually, it's one of my favorite tracks. I got the race growing up because Budds Creek, I was District 6, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, parts of New York, and then District 7 was Delaware, Maryland, and probably Virginia maybe. Anyway, so we used to go down there all the time and race local races, and it was one of the spots I grew up racing on. And I feel like, Big Fights might know, did we have Loretta Lynn qualifiers there back in the day? I feel like we might have. I know that race that I did in Europe when I had it was this Coupe de l'Avenir was the name of the race, and I rode for the U.S. team over there in Belgium, and I believe that we had to go to Budds Creek to qualify for that. So anyway, super fun track, a lot of good memories there. Maybe we should pull up some old photos of racing some of these tracks from back in the day. We'll go through and check out my style. All right, let's talk about motivation. This is just something I just want to throw in real quick before we open it up and do some of the live Q&A. I was thinking about motivation and discipline. And obviously, we hear these all the time when we talk about, being an athlete, being competitive. It's thrown around all the time. But anyway, the reason when I started thinking about this, at the gym, you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, I ride this bike all the time. I cycle a ton at the gym. But I've been hitting I don't know what you even call it, but there's two different bikes at the gym. There's standard, the bike you just cycle, right? You just get on it and pedal. But then there's the other one, if you guys know what it's called, post it up in this chat. It's like this. It's like it's got like a big wheel on the front and it just blows cold air on you. It feels good, but it's way harder. You're like going like this. You're pedaling and you're doing this with your arms. Is it a wind bike or something? I don't know what it's called, but it's not fun. It's way harder. I can do 45 minutes on the standard bike and barely break a sweat. I get 10 minutes on the other bike and I'm drenched. It's way harder. So anyway, I go into the gym one day last week, and I'm like, man, I'm not like feeling like getting on that bike right now. And I've been wanting to get in better shape. I've been eating a little bit cleaner. I've been trying to clean up a little bit, trying to step up the game a little bit here. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel like getting on that bike. The bike's hard. So I'm like, I'll just go on the easy bike, right? And I get on the easy bike, and I'm just pedaling. And then I just started thinking about like back, like my motivation as a mid 40 retired athlete versus my motivation as a 20 and a 30-year-old competitive athlete. And I was like, and that's when I started thinking about discipline too, because I'm like, you know what? Like motivation in my 20s and 30s was so easy. Like I was so motivated. Like, so I didn't need that much discipline. Like even though I was super disciplined, and I do think we need both. I think it's a balance, but I think that's what I was thinking on. It's like, it's just weird how when you go through these, different, times of your life where you might need, you need them both, but you might need one more than the other in different times of your life. Like I said, 20s through 30s, there was so much motivation because I was competing and, I was traveling around just in the mix, like there was a goal, there was like an event coming up. I had stuff to do. So I was just motivated. Like, yo, we're training. And whatever the most difficult thing is, that's what I'm going to do. Like I told you guys, you should run that hill. I hated running that hill, but I go run it because it spiked my heart rate gnarlier than any other thing that I did. And I wanted to be prepared for speed and style. And that's a sprint, 4-lap sprint. And your heart rate spikes up crazy. So I'm like, how can I train for this event off my bike? So I start running these hills because they were gnarly. But I used to do that type of stuff. You don't catch me doing it now. But it was like I was so motivated that I didn't need that much discipline, even though it was still there. Like I said, I always was disciplined in my life. I mean, I even have a thing hanging up in my garage that was in a magazine article that I can't remember if it was Racer X or Trans or I don't know. I'll have to look when I go out in the garage next time. It might have been even the Freestyle mag. It used to be a Freestyle mag. But the label, the headlines on the article were the master of discipline. So I had both, but now I look at myself as a 40, mid 40, about to be 45 soon. Now it's like I need discipline more than I need motivation because the motivation is not there like it was. So now it's like I lean more on discipline to keep me doing what I need to do or I want to do. Does that make sense? Because I was like, I got on that bike and I start going like, I don't really want to do it. It wasn't, not as motivated as I have been in the past because it's just a different time of life. Like, I'm not competing no more. I don't have to be in the best shape that, you know what I mean? So because of that, there's this different mindset really. And that's what I want to talk a little bit next week. That's where the shift is. The shift was from being super motivated, a little bit of discipline to now there's not as much motivation. So now I'm leaning on more discipline to carry me through. But what really happened? What was the difference? I started thinking about like, what happened? Like, why? It's mindset. And I was in a different mindset in my 20s and 30s because I was competitive versus being retired in my mid 40s. So does it make sense at all? Can you guys relate to that? I mean, are you guys leaning on, like some of you guys who are, older guys, you leaning on more discipline to carry you through? Because that's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm like, I need to be more disciplined today because I don't have the motivation I had in my 20s. I need discipline. So anyway, I get on that bike and I called myself out and I was like, man, I don't really feel like riding the hard bike. I get on the easy bike. So I got on the easy bike. I did like 10 minutes and I'm having this whole, everything I just shared with you was running through my head. And I was just thinking like, all those thoughts. I don't need to say it again. And I was like, you know what? Get the heck off this easy bike and go ride the hard bike. And I got off, dude. And I'm like, but that's discipline. Doing stuff when you don't feel like it. You need discipline. So anyway, if you guys can relate to that, and maybe some guys, and I'm still motivated, don't get me wrong. And I thought about like, okay, it is a different mindset. That's where the switch is. So that's why I want to talk a little bit about mindset next week. But there's still motivation, and I started thinking, like, what is the motive? Like, what little motivation do I have left that's even carrying me through some of these days, weeks, months, years to still be doing this? And at the end of the day, it's passion. It's my love for riding. I do what I do because I love it. I still love it, and that motivation, that passion, and that love for riding, and there's the motocross community, all the people I know, that keeps me going. And now it's kind of transferred into my coaching. And now that's why I love coaching. I'm finding the motivation that I had as an athlete, I'm finding in coaching. And the longer and the more I coach and the more people I work with, the more motivated I get to be a better coach. And that's exciting because I had that motivation as an athlete that you're constantly, every day you wake up to be better. Every day I wake up to be better. I got to be better. Like, how do I get better? To where now I'm starting to feel like, oh, dude, lights off. What the heck happened? Let me crank this up here for a second. But now I'm starting to find that as a coach going like, how can I be a better coach? Like, how can I like connect more with the riders? Like, to where I'm like Googling books. I'm like, I'm going to read some books on coaching. I want to learn as much as I can about being a good coach. Because I want to, that's my new passion. That's kind of what's driving me now is to share what I've learned and to help others be great. Like, my time's done. Like I'm in a different mindset. My mindset's different now than it was then. And that's great. There's a cycle of life we all go through, and every athlete has his day. And there comes a time when you got to admit your time's passed, but you can pass that on. That's kind of where I'm at now. Being able to share that and help others get their goals and be great at a sport and the sport that I love. We share the same passion, so it's awesome. So anyway, let me know if you guys got some thoughts on motivation, dedication, and even, like I said, we'll talk next week on mindset. But what was the, I can't even think now. What was the last point I made? Mindset, motivation, dedication. What was the other one? I can't remember now. I feel like I touched on one other thing. If somebody remembers, kick it up in the thing. Anyway, we're going to dive into this. We got about 30 minutes. Like I said, if you're new here, we go to about an hour every night. So we got about 30 minutes. Going to open up to some questions. Try to get everybody in as quick as I can. If I miss you, throw it back up. But the way I do it is put the question marks up. Here we go. Perfect example here with mixed tips. See how he's got the question marks? That's how I can find your questions. Even though I wish I could go through and just read all your comments sometimes and get in the chat, but I've run out of time. All right, let's see here. Have you ever do I ever free ride? Not as much as I have in the past, just because it's so different out here in the Midwest. I don't even know where you could free ride because it seems like there's either private tracks or public tracks. The public tracks are open, 1 day a week if you're lucky, and the private tracks you only can go there if you get invited. So all the other land seems like it's farmland and it's off limits. So I don't know too many spots other than I've been to one place in Topeka. So I do love the free ride, but it's a little bit harder out here in the Midwest. Not like Cali, where there's just spots you can just pull up and go. But it is fun, and I do miss it. Where are you? All right, so that looks like Woods Crafts and Adam are just having a little talk there. We got Brian here. Let's get Brian up. Yeah, a little shout out, Brian, man. We had a little dinner. Me, him, and Mel and his wife got together for dinner the other night. Hit up our favorite taco spot. So good times. Oh yeah, right. Hey, I'm talking about it. You're talking about it. What's your favorite? Oh wait, never mind. I saw food and I thought you were saying. All right, I should have read the question here. What's your favorite meal food before a race or freestyle competition? To be honest with you, I never used to eat a whole lot. You got to eat some food. You can't. But I was more or less like I would eat my breakfast, and I had been eating the same stuff for years. And I feel like I still eat the same thing. And I thought about doing this. Would you guys would this be cool to do a YouTube video on like what I eat in a day? Even, is that even cool? Me and Mel will talk about ideas of stuff we can do. But anyway, I'm like an oatmeal and blueberry dude in the morning with almond milk and not honey. I use agave. So it's just like a sweetener, very little thing. It's a natural sweetener. And I would eat that same thing. If I was going to compete, going to a race, I would eat the same thing in the morning. That would be my little bit of fruit and carbs. And then I'm a fruit guy. I will eat a ton of fruit. I'm like bananas, apples, cherries. I eat fruit all the time. But then if I was at a race or a freestyle competition, I would go with like a real light, and I just wouldn't eat a lot, just because I'll be honest with you, I get nervous, so then my appetite goes down a little bit. But I would just go with like a real light chicken and rice, and I eat that all the time normally, and that's just me. But anyway, I was thinking about sharing some more, because, dude, think about it. Like, moto's a lifestyle, right? And our lifestyle involves training at the gym, riding moto, and trying to be healthy, right? Like, if you want to be a moto dude, you got to be somewhat healthy. And I don't feel like I, like, eat that bad at all. Like, sometimes I call myself, I eat bad, like, because I don't eat as clean and as strict as I did when I was getting it. I'm more, like, flexible now. I'm like, whatever. But I still eat pretty good, and Mel eats crazy good. She don't mess around. She eats so good, which I'm happy for. I'm glad I'm married to a woman who doesn't mess around, and like she don't eat junk. Like she don't nothing great. Like, dude, everything in our house is organic, like chemical free. It's just it's a lifestyle. It comes to be a lifestyle, but it's non-toxic. That's how Mel tells it. We don't mess with toxics in here. Everything we put in our body, we're trying to make sure it's from God. God created it. We'll put it in our body. If it's chemicals, let's try to avoid it and find something natural. That's how we're rolling now. Because there's a deal. Most of us are getting sick and dying from all the crap that we either eat or put on our body or in our body. So can we eliminate some of that stuff and live a little bit healthier? We can. And Mel loves doing research, loves finding all the natural stuff, all the healthy stuff, and then you just get rid of the other stuff. And the crazy thing is the good stuff's better than the junk. We just get so used to eating junk, you crave junk. But if you actually get junk out of your body and replace it with something good, you actually crave good things. But you gotta make the changes. So that's where I said remember I'm saying I need more discipline now, because that's how I'm at. It takes discipline to do that. It takes discipline to eat healthy and clean all the time. Discipline. And I need more of that in my life. That's why I've been making changes. All right, let me see. Let's see, David Rodriguez. Get him up here. He said, John Claver said, what up? Tell him I said, what up? He said, tattoo came out amazing. Wasn't bad as everyone hyped it up to me. Going back in a few weeks. How often do you get tattooed at first? It's addicting. True. So check it. When I first started getting tattooed when I moved to California, I got tattooed every single week. I don't know for how many years, but every single week. That's why I'm covered. I'm covered in tattoos because I got tattooed all the time. But once I got filled up, once I almost got filled up, I started cutting it back, and I used to get tattooed once a year. And now that I'm pretty much tattooed everything that I'm going to tattoo. I'm not going to get tattooed no more. I'm done. But it was once a week. And it was, I'll give a little shout out to Dan Adair Soul Expression Tattoo Shop, Temecula, California. He basically tattooed me every Tuesday. Tattoo Tuesday. That's what it was. And he was super cool. I basically just listed him out as a sponsor, traded him out. I gave him every type of sponsor product that I was getting at the time. We just traded. And I tipped him. He was cool. He's like, don't worry about paying me. So it was a blessing, because tattoos are expensive. It's probably why I got so many, because I was just able to not have to pay for them all. But yeah, tell John Cato I said what up. But I'm done now. That stuff hurts too bad. Last couple of times I got tattooed, I'm like, dude, this sucks. But it's because I had all the bad spots left. I was already tattooed all the easy spots, all the last spots. I saved the worst for last, and sucked. All right, so Anley says, what did you hit it with? What ramp? Tommy Shea. Oh, well, I don't. Oh, so I think he's talking in the chat. Looks like you guys are talking about ramps. All right, let me click out of that. I think that's what you guys are talking about. Finally hit a ramp, because Anthony P's up here saying he finally hit a ramp. Well, congrats on hitting the ramp. That always feels good. Yeah, missed that. I missed that too. I need to get me one. All right, I'm going to just keep on scrolling. And I want to look for some of your comments, if you guys made any. So I might take a couple seconds just to read some stuff, just to get involved in the chat. Levi crushed it, top 10 overall. So yeah, I agree. Well, Levi was on rail. So Jacob was actually out. Him and Pops went out to Loretta's and got to watch firsthand. So that's pretty cool. What is Feist saying? 39. What is this? 39 what? What is that? I'm older than 39, dude. If that's what you're talking about. The fan bike. See, I'm glad you guys know. That's what it is. The fan bike. That thing sucks. But it's a good suck to where I'm like forcing myself to. I want to be able to, like, here's the, like, dude, I'll be honest with you. First time I got on it, I struggled to do 5 minutes. I was like, holy crap, this thing's hard. If you're trying to go at a decent pace. So now I do it like go hard for 30 seconds and then cruise it for 30 seconds, hard for 30 seconds, cruise it for 30 seconds, and I'm keep working up. I got up to 15 minutes. So let's get to 30. And when you get to 30, you go to 40. That's how you do it. That's how I always train. I don't just try to go and kill myself and then get discouraged that I didn't hit my goal. I work my way up. So 15's my top my longest I've lasted so far. Nothing to brag about, but it's hard. Anyone who's been on it? Has anyone been on the thing and know what I'm talking about? Like, let me know you've been on it. Here we go. He says, hello, everyone. Just jumping on here to say what up. Stuck at work. Well, what up, Howard? Thanks for jumping on, man. Have a good night at work, brother. Appreciate you being here. Discipline is the key for sure. I can relate to that big time. That's what Dave. So good to know. Because that's what I was just thinking about that. Like, man, this is a lot easier in your 20s, huh? In your 30s. But it is about mindset. Because I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm going to save it for the next week. The mindset in the 20s and 30s was different than the mindset now. And it had to come down to where I just at in life. So that's what really big key of what's your mindset. So we're going to try to dive into that and let's just chew on that. Think about that. Let's think about that for the week, your mindset. And then we'll talk a little bit about that. Yep. I like how one arm is putting it right here. Motivation only gets you going. Discipline is what keeps you going. That's well put, brother. I like that. It's true. That's why you need both. You need both. Because here's the deal. Even though motivation was really, there was a lot more in those early years, there was still days I woke up and I'd ride 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes twice a day. There's days I woke up and I was like, man, I don't feel like riding today. But then I would anyway. That's when discipline, the motivation's not really there, but then the discipline kicks in. You're like, no, I gotta go do it. And then you go do it. But here's the funny thing. A lot of times on those days, I never felt like I wake up, I'm like, I don't really feel like riding. The great thing about my situation was I had had a course. Everyone would come to my house. So by the time everybody starts showing up, people are watering the track. I'd start to wake up, start to feel a little loose or feel a little better. Some of those days that I woke up and didn't even want to ride were some of my best sessions. Once you get out there and you start sweating and start getting your groove, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm so glad I rode today. You're like, it was one of my best day all week. And that happened multiple times. So let that be a motivator for the week. If you wake up and whatever your deal is, you don't feel like doing, go do it. And it could be your actually best day of the week. I've had it happen. It happens. All right. Wait, real quick. I don't want to skip this. Tommy Shea here. Who has a new 2022 KTM 250? Anybody? I do not. Danger Boy might. We got Jeremy Taylor. What up, dude? He said, would you consider doing coaching class for us moto moms and dads? Kind of like coaching. Coaches basically teach us the basics. Yes, I am. That's what I do. I love teaching the basics. That's the most important stuff. So yeah, totally open to that. Email me. If you want to talk, just email me at info@ronniefeistmx.com and maybe we can see if you're out in this area. Maybe we can line something up. That'd be sweet. And like I said, I got a class coming up. When was that? September 25th. That'll be the next September class. And like I said, I can't believe there's only 2 classes left this year. What the heck? Like we're like a blink away from fall already. Hey, hunting season's coming though. That's something to look forward to. But it's crazy, right? Where is this year going? All right, Local Misfits here. He says, hey, Ronnie, this is my first year riding a dirt bike. I'm loving it, and I am on the road to doing my first hair scramble in September while filming it. Do you have any tips on what I should be working on? So you're racing a hair scramble. So it's the hair scrambles are pretty sweet. So basically, if you guys don't know what a hair scramble is, it's basically half like enduro, half woods, and half moto. So you're going to do a little 50-50. I mean, seat time is the best. So if you know you're going to be, and this is like, so it's your first year riding, you're doing, you got a event coming up. It's a hair scramble, and I would assume hair scrambles are usually pretty long, so you probably got a pretty long race ahead of you. I mean, I would try to get out to the motocross track if you haven't, because you're going to have to race a moto. So I don't know how much time you got on the motocross track, but definitely get a little bit of time on a track since it'll have a little bit of mix. But same thing, like preparing for an event, it's like knowing like what do I got to do? I got to ride the woods and I got to ride the track. So I would get in the trails. I'd go ride the track. And depending on, I know it's your first year, but I've seen this is what I learned about coaching. When people say I'm a beginner, there's a whole lot of different levels of beginners. There's like the beginner who's just getting going and like lets out the clutch and barely go. Then there's like the next level beginner who's kind of got it going. Then there's like a pretty good beginner. Then there's the people a beginner. You're like, you're a beginner. You're like, sure you ain't a sandbagging dude? Tell me you're a beginner. You ride like you've been riding for 10 years. But anyway, technique, basics, body position, I can't preach it enough. This is your foundation of who you will become as a rider. So get with a coach, dude. Get with a coach in your area. Like I said, go to that website, find a coach. And here you can get coaching for the woods. You can get coaching for moto. If you're brand new, better to get coaching sooner than later. That way you don't develop bad habits and then have to break them. It's easier to learn the right way and then just practice your good habits right off the bat. So I would say, dude, definitely get on that website, motorcyclecoaching.org. See if there's someone in your area, and then just learn the basics. If not, dude, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of good coaches that you can find stuff even here. Just get the basics down and focus on those. And you can never graduate from practicing your basics. You can be riding for 35 years and still focus on being smooth, clutch control, throttle control, like better body position, more relaxed arms, better grip with the feet. Like you can, like it's a lifelong journey. Just have fun along your way, but definitely get some guidance. I think that's the best thing any of us can do. Even if you're been riding for 5-10 years, the best dudes in the world have coaches. Every sport has coaches. You can't wait. Just got that one. All right, we got. I thought it said Shaun White for a second. Like, whoa, Shaun White's on here. What up? It says, do you know any drills that I can do while riding for recovering from a broken femur? I broke my femur in December, had surgery. So you broke it in December, had surgery. Wait. I broke my femur in December, had surgery. Next with the rods and screws. Any tips on how? I broke my femur, so let me see. Recovering from a broken femur. Trying to think of some other thing. Here's one thing I would say. Don't try to ride too soon, because I know it's about like the 3.5 months you start to feel like you could go. Take off the time you need. I rode at 4 months. I'll be honest with you. I rode at 4 months and I rode X Games, but it was a little soon. My doctor told me, he said, look, I'm going to clear you because you have enough bone growth, but he's like, I want you to go ride that one event. I understand how you guys work. He was like the motocross orthopedic surgeon of the motocross industry in Marietta, Temecula. He worked on everybody. So he got what we did. So he's like, look, go ride X Games. As soon as X Games is over, take off another month. So I really was out 5 months with one exception to ride X Games. But I went to, if I'm assuming you're in PT, physical therapy, I never missed. I went to every single appointment, and then when I wasn't in physical therapy, I rode the bike like crazy because my leg got real little. So I don't know how your quad looks, but my quad shrunk, and I had this little toothpick. So I would cycle all the time, like outside of therapy. And same thing, anything that I probably went to the gym like twice a day, plus I did it like because I couldn't ride. So I was doubling up on my training plus going to therapy. So I was just trying to stay in shape as much as I could. Any type of exercise, look, it's blood flow. So if you're getting blood flown by that leg, it's going to help it heal. Another thing that I did, I actually, because as soon as I said blood flow, it made me think of this. I had a like a bone stimulator that wrapped around my leg. I still have the thing. And it basically, it's what it does. It creates blood flow that's going to help speed up the healing. So, I mean, dude, you got to take off the right amount of time, Ben. But think about what you're putting in your body, your diet, your rest, your PT, and bone stem. Just you try to do everything that you can, but there's only so much you do. But don't overlook one. Don't like if you, whatever there's out there, go do it. That's the best thing you can do as far as getting that leg back in shape. do you know any drills for riding? If you're looking for riding drills, simple riding drills, like I said, wait your time. Don't jump the gun, because I've seen so many people through my career jump the gun on injury and then get re-injured and sit out twice as long because of it. And they were like 1 month away from being completely healed. So I always say, just wait. But if you are going to try to ride and do simple stuff, just, flatland, do cone drills, do little balance drills, do like quick little, like you can do braking drills, set up one cone, another cone, start at the first cone. As soon as you hit the first cone, gas it. When you get to the second cone, brake, and just practice being more aggressive, more smoother, getting good front brake control. Simple drill, you're on the ground, you're not jumping, pretty safe. You could do that. You could just do a standard balance drill if you have 2 cones set up, and you could just try to go from cone A to cone B as slow as you can. Set them up pretty far apart. Set them up like, if you put it at 45 yards, 40 yards, and go from cone A to cone B. In your attack position, so get in a good rider position, balls at the feet, grip them with the legs, hips back, head forward, arms up and out, but then be loose and try to go as slow as you can. And you can do this with a friend, which is kind of cool. Have a little competition where whoever gets there second wins, because it's the slowest guy. The guy goes the slowest. Or you could put up multiple cones, like 10 to 15 feet apart, go from one cone, pull up, try to count to 3. Same thing, standing up, it's a balance drill. Loose arms. The whole point of the drill is to get in the right body position, but then increase your balance. So as the bike starts to get off balance, you shift your counterbalance. You shift your weight, you keep your arms loose, but then you pick it up with the throttle and clutch. So not only are you learning body position and counterbalance and staying loose, and it's hip control. You control the bikes with your hips and you keep the arms loose, but at the same time you're practicing throttle and clutch control and keeping the bike from stalling. So you kind of learn that nice little like fine line of like, where can I let the bike go before it stalls? So it's a good, safe little drill. And then go from cone to cone. So pull up the first cone, count to 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next cone, 1, 2, 3, and then try to go to 5 cones without touching your foot. If you touch your foot, pull off and do 10 push-ups. That way you get in shape. Get some chest in the mix. But they're just simple little drills. I love doing all those. We do those drills at my classes, and I love them. I think they're fun. I was actually just doing them on Saturday. They're fun. They're good, though. They help you improve. It's the little things, dude. It's the little things. The more technical rider you are, the better rider you can be. So practice the little technical things. Dude, another thing I was talking about, learn how to do slow wheelies. You know how hard slow wheelies are, but you know how good slow wheelies improve your balance and clutch and throttle control? Because you got to go hurrah and pick it up with control. If you snap it and loop it out, you loop it out. If you don't know how to get it enough, you can't pick the front end up. So it teaches you how to pick up the front end, but not with too much. That's control. And then you got to get it up and balance it and keep it there. Control, balance. It's a great technique, and it's a fun little thing. You can just play around in an open field and do slow wheelies, and it's pretty safe. But for you with a broken femur, don't do that one, because if you stick your leg out and you get off balance, you could tweak your leg. So you don't do that. I'm just saying for all of us who just want to have fun and learn wheelies. All right, let me move on real quick before I run out of time here. We got Anthony P. What up? He said, you are Mel into researching wild medical or enable plants. Edible. Is that edible? Is that what that says? We use anything that's natural. We don't mess with weed or nothing, if that's what that means. I don't even know. I don't know if I understand your question or not. I have some CBD, but it's like, it ain't like, I ain't getting high off of it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like all natural stuff. But that's it. Like, we ain't into anything else. We're like clean. We're clean as a whistle over here. So probably not that stuff. All right. He says, do you think whips are a good way to control the bike? Yes. I think doing whips, learning how to whip it is one of the best ways to learn bike control. The guys who have some of the best bike control are some of the best whippers. So it's an awesome drill. Learn how to whip it. And it's probably one of the funnest things to do. Just get it. If you had a freestyle ramp or a good jump and you just session it for an hour and do turn down whips and standard whips, seat bounce whips. So fun. 39 points down. All right, so I was right. See that? I'm better at math than I thought. 39 points down. All right. Local Misfits, favorite road track, first time yesterday. All right, let's get him up here. He said, a road track, first time yesterday. Let me blow this up. Can you guys see that all right? Because it's kind of small for me. Worked my way up and was close to clearing some singles, but ran into issues. The longer that I'm in the air, the bike starts falling away from me. What am I doing wrong? So if the bike is falling away from you, first thought is you're not gripping with your feet and your legs. If the bike's just falling away from you because your legs are loose, I would say balls of feet, grip with your feet and your calves and your knees. Like squeeze low. Like the first, think about it. I feel like when I squeeze them on my feet, I grip the bike. If I only squeeze them on my legs, I feel like my feet get loose. So I squeeze low up through my calves, and then it keeps my legs tight. So that's what I would think. That would be the first thought. Bikes falling away because there's no grip of bike. You're not controlling the bike with your legs, feet, and hips. So try to get a little tighter and see if that helps. All right, so One Army says, any plans for you and Ronnie and Mel? YouTube, haven't been on Insta too much. Keep up. Yeah, so we took a little break. We took a little break from the Ronnie and Mel YouTube, but we do have plans, and we do plan on getting back to it. This is what we were deciding. We're like, let's not just like set a date right this second. We're going to get back to it. We actually had some conversations recently about when we're going to get back to it, but we are. So we'll keep you guys posted. We're going to get back to it. We want to get back to doing, like, when we first started, we did a little series. So we want to kind of do that, because when you start a little series, it's kind of gives you a little like direction of like what's coming next. And then we kind of finished all the series we're going to do. The only one that we didn't do that we originally were going to do was a end time series. So we started talking about that. We're like, and that's just because we started listening to other stuff, and we're like, hold up. There's different views? Hold on. So what are the views? So maybe we shouldn't do a whole series on this if we haven't heard all the views, right? We got to hear all the views. So then we heard all the views, and now that we have, we were like, okay, how do we want to do that? Because we never did it. So I think that one's on the radar for sure, which I think we both enjoy, because me and Mel we love those things. We're like little end time nerds. So that will be coming at some point. And I'm sure there'll be some other stuff. We just haven't figured it out. But that was the first thing that I brought up to her. I'm like, why don't we just, because we never did. That was one we wanted to do. We never did it. But we'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully here, I would think, I know I'm going to be really busy in these next 2 months. September's super busy. And then I think as we start getting towards fall and the colder weather, I think it'll probably be towards then, because things will start to slow down here in the Midwest. Schools will be ending. Yeah, and even the riding season is going to wrap up here. All right, what upgrades did you do to your 450? My 450 at the moment is bone stock, but I'm planning on sending out the suspension, and it has a pipe on it. It's a Rockstar edition, so it came with the FMF exhaust. I ordered the mid pipe in March, and it's still back ordered. So that's crazy, right? You can't even get a mid pipe for a bike. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put the mid pipe on. I got the exhaust. I didn't even change my gearing. The gearing on it for what I'm doing riding the track, I think it has a 49 on it. I think it came with a 49. They used to come with 48s, and they switched it. It comes with a 49 now. I'm just leaving it. It works fine at the track. If I was going to ride ramps, I'd probably bump it up to a 50 or 51. But for that outdoor track, I'm leaving it at a 49. So my gearing's fine. Only thing that I think my 450 needs is a little bit stiffer suspension, because I bottoming out quite a bit. So that's all I'm going to do. And I'm happy. I feel like 450s are so fast, you don't really need to do much. As long as you get a good little... And I don't think the stock suspension's bad. A lot of guys could probably get away with it depending on your weight. But I'm 185 now. Put a little weight on, dude. I bottom that thing out a lot, especially on high-speed whoops. Or if I overjump. If I jump a little bit, it bottoms out. Or if I come a little short. So that's why I'm like... And then my back hurts. So I'm like, you gotta bump this up. Look a little better. Suspension on this thing. He says, did Robbie Madison just jump 370? I think that was an old video. I saw that too. I think that's old. It could be new, because I didn't pay super close attention to it, but I think he was just posting, because I think he did that a long time ago, but I could be wrong, so don't take my word for it. Yeah, I don't think I'm saying it. So Anthony P's like, no, why? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. How do I say that? I don't, edible plant. Do I eat edible plants? Probably, I don't know. Mel would probably know this better, but no. I feel like the only thing I eat green is like spinach. I eat vegetables. Mel has these powders that are filled with all the like superfood greens. So she likes to get the powders, all natural stuff, and the oils. She's big on the oils, dude. We got every single oil possible in this house. But they work. We use those. So that's what I'm saying. We'll set up, you get a headache, instead of going and taking Advil and ibuprofen, or put some oils on your head, get rid of the headache. And same thing, if I feel like I'm getting sick, I thought I was going to get a sore throat. I know I shared with you guys a couple weeks ago. I put stuff on my throat and on my spine, some oils, and it went away. I didn't get sick. So I know it works. And I've been using some of this oils to help me sleep. And there's nights I get all the way through the night. So I've been using it with magnesium. So I take a little bit of magnesium powder form, and then I put the oil on my spine. I put it on my collarbones, and the reason why I put it on my collarbones is because it helps you smell it, and it's supposed to be like aromatherapy. And then I have Mel put it down my spine, and it does work. But she mixes a couple different oils up. I don't know which one she has. She got a little contraption. She does, but they work. I've been trying. I want to put them on my feet too. Sorry, I'm putting them on my big toes. But that's the type of stuff we're going through. We're trying to do all natural. And like I told you guys, Mel has changed everything out in the house. All of our all-purpose cleaner for the countertops is she makes it herself. It's, what do they call it? DIY, do it yourself. She makes it. It's non-toxic. It's all natural stuff. So she does that. She makes our hand soap. She makes our dish soap. She was doing making our body lotion, but now through this company that we're buying our stuff from, Young Living, we like their lotion. It's all natural, so we just use that. But we switched out our mouthwash, our toothpaste, our soap, our shampoo, everything. There's nothing in this house that is not natural. All natural lifestyle, non-toxic is the way we're rolling. And the reason why is because if you do your research, those tumors and those skin cancers and all that stuff, and I got skin cancer. I just had a piece cut off. I got a big old chunk under this thing, and I've had one cut out. All that stuff's just stuff we put on our skin. So let's clean it up. Like I said, this is one of the main reasons. Like, I don't have kids, but if I do, I want to see them grow up, and I'm a late starter, dude. Like, I'll be like 65 before my kid graduates high school, if I ever have any. So I got to make sure I'm here. So I got to do everything I can to clean up my lifestyle and get all this junk out. All right, I better pin it because I'm running out of time. All right, I'm going to call this rapid fire now. So if you get a short answer, it's just because there's a few minutes left. I want to take up your guys' time. I says, would you ever consider racing Loretta Lynn's over 45, you and Deegan? I thought about it many times because it sounds like a really fun, cool idea, but it's no joke and it'd be really hard. I think I would have to first start racing local races and do well there before I'd be ready for Loretta's, but trust me, Deegan talks about it too. He said he wouldn't go unless, obviously Danger Boy's out next year. He said he wouldn't go unless like Huxon was down there. He's not going for himself, he said. But if Hudson's down there racing, he said he would think about it. And that makes sense. I'm like, you know what? I get that. He's so into his kids now that he's like, I'm not going to I didn't need to go down there for me. You know what I mean? But if little Huck's going to be down there, maybe I will. But I think he said I might wait the plus 50 because the 45 plus class is pretty fast. Even though I watch plus 50, I'm like, dude, it's the same guys. You might as well race 45. The 50 plus is the same dudes. And they're no joke. Look what Rhino did. Yeah, Rhino's sick, dude. He killed it. So big shout out to Rhino. Yeah, he used to hook me up back in the day, so I got my little Rhino power here. I'm just sipping on water, though. X Games should think about a 45 That'd be so cool. So Nico's saying get the 45 plus class in the freestyle. The funny thing is all our tricks would just be so boring. No one do anything cool. Old school, seat grab, can. Because you watch like the guys up today do double flips and front flips, and then all the old guys come out and do seat grabs because there ain't nobody doing that gnarly. You got to ride freestyle every single day to keep your tricks. If you don't do them every day, you feel sketchy and off balance. You have to do them every day. And most of the guys my age barely even hit the ramp. If we all had to go hit the ramp, that'd just be an accomplishment. We're like, yo, we jumped the ramp today. Sweet. Did a couple whips. Feel good about it. All right, Big Bird, what up? He said, when was the last time you got a new tattoo? Man, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. The last thing that I did tattoo would have been my ribs. My ribs and my upper thighs all have like a one piece that kind of go from my ribs to my upper thighs. I think that's the last thing I did. So, man, it's been a while, dude. I don't even know. I mean, I lived in Kansas for the last 3 years, and it definitely was done long before then. So I'm gonna guess and say 5 years. I don't know. It's been a while. But I'm glad I'm done, to be honest with you. I'm glad I'm done. And now, you ever just go watch other people get tattooed and they're trying to sit there and tough it out and you know it hurts? I'm like, I don't miss that. All right, so Mom's saying hurry up with the grandbabies. We're going to get another dog. We're coming to visit, so we'll bring Mally down so you can see your grand dog. Yeah. All right, so let me see. All right, so I think I got through everybody. You've been hitting a ramp late? No, I have not hit a ramp. I got to jump one ramp one time since I lived in the Midwest, but my goal is to get a spot and set a ramp up in the future, so I just want to jump one and do some whips. That's fun. What's that? Potter's house the other day. He's ready to ride. Yeah, Potter, that's good. So Potter was just out here, so it was good to see him. He was just out here hanging out. All right, so it looks like we wrap it up. Hey, look at that. I ended up perfectly, pretty much on time. So, hey, once again, thank all you guys for being here week after week. I do appreciate it. I love our little online community. If you guys need anything, holla at me. But we'll be back next week. Same place, same time. Be sure to sign up for that. What the heck is it? The front number plate. If you haven't, get it. We're giving those away. Giving those away in 2 weeks. So get signed up. I'll see you guys next week. Much love. Smash that thumbs up button so YouTube sends us out and we build this community. Appreciate you guys. See you next week. Peace out.